Beloved one, do not scroll. Do not look away. Something holy is moving even now as your eyes rest upon these words. This is not chance. This is not just another message among many. It is divine design. For this very night, yes, tonight, a veil shall lift in the very place where you dwell. In your home, behind the doors you've locked, within the walls you trust, a stirring has begun. I am not here to cause fear. I am here to awaken you. Archangel Michael says, I stand at the edge of your dwelling, not with sword in hand to destroy, but with wings of fire to shield. This is a night unlike others, a moment set apart from the rest. Take a breath, child of light. Can you feel it? That shift in the air, that pause in your chest that came uninvited, that flicker in the corners of your vision. You are sensing what cannot be seen by human eyes because the spirit has begun to whisper, and tonight it is whispering your name. There is something you must know, and what I share with you now is not meant for everyone, only for those whose hearts have begun to stir, only for those who have cried in silence, who have prayed into their pillow, who have wondered, does anyone truly see me? Yes, beloved, heaven sees, God has heard, and Michael has been dispatched. There is movement in your house, not in the creaking of the walls or the ticking of the clock, but in the spirit. What once was hidden is now preparing to rise, and you, chosen, are being summoned to stand in the center of it all. Michael says, do not fear what you sense, for I am here. Do not tremble at what has been buried, for I will reveal it. But you must remain still, you must remain open, for this is the first call. Somewhere close to you, someone holds back a truth. They wear smiles, but it is heavy on their spirit. They speak with care, but within them brews unrest. They believe they are protecting you, but in hiding, they have allowed shadows to grow. You have suspected it, haven't you? That something was off, that something was said too carefully, that a look lingered too long, or a silence settled too fast. You are not wrong, but hear me. This message is not one of accusation. This is a message of unveiling. Because tonight is the beginning of a breaking, a sacred breaking. Not to harm, but to heal, not to expose in shame, but to release in truth. Michael stands now between what has been and what is coming. He says, let no fear bind your thoughts, let no confusion steal your clarity. I am not here to pull you apart, but to set you free. You have carried burdens that were never yours. You have held your breath in rooms that should have felt like sanctuary. No more. This is the hour of sanctification. Your house is about to become a holy place. There may be trembling. There may be tears. There may be a heaviness that falls upon you like a shadow that knows it must flee. But do not run. Do not hide. For the Spirit comes not to condemn, but to cleanse. You have been asking questions in silence. Now, you will receive answers through signs, perhaps in a dream, perhaps in a whisper, perhaps in the sudden memory of a voice long gone. Stay alert. The sacred does not always shout. It often comes wrapped in stillness. So tonight, still yourself. Prepare your heart. Speak aloud these words if your soul agrees. I receive the light that is coming. I welcome what heaven desires to reveal. Now watch. This is not an ending. Though something is preparing to be removed from your life, it is only to make space for the greater. Heaven never takes without intending to fill. And tonight, there is an opening. There is a crack in the atmosphere, through which grace is pouring. But only those who remain awake, only those who heed the quiet alarm of the soul, will receive it fully. Michael says, there are only minutes left before the shift completes. Do not miss it. Do not sleep through your visitation. Look around your room. Notice the temperature, the colors, the things that feel off. These are not coincidences. They are signals. They are affirmations that this message is not imagined, but divine. If your hands feel warmer, if your eyes well with tears for no reason, If your name echoes inside your chest like a voice you didn't expect, do not dismiss it. You are being awakened, and once awakened, you will never be the same. Type Amen if your spirit knows this is for you. Type 33 if you are ready to receive what they thought they could keep hidden. Type 2222 if you believe your home is being touched by something holy tonight. This is only the beginning, beloved. The veil is only starting to lift. In part 2, the silence will speak louder and the unseen truth will begin to surface. But for now, be still, welcome what is stirring, and remember Michael is already standing at your door. Beloved child of divine light, you stayed, you listened, and because you remained, you are now ready to see what others were never meant to witness. Tonight, a door is not just creaking, it is being unlatched by holy hands. There is no more time for pretending. Archangel Michael speaks again. Be watchful now. The truth is no longer content with hiding. It is pressing against the surface. It must be seen. It must be known. Do not resist this unveiling, dear one, for what comes now is not meant to wound you, but to awaken you. And awakening always begins with a shaking. Perhaps you've sensed it already. The shift in their words, the glances that linger too long, the laughter that feels too loud, too rehearsed, the absence that stretches a little longer than it should. Someone close to you is carrying a burden they swore they'd never let you see. They believe their silence is kindness. They believe you must be protected from a truth too heavy to hold. But hear me, beloved, God has built you stronger than they know. You are not fragile. You are forged of soul and spirit, not glass and dust. There is a secret aching to be confessed, not for destruction but for redemption, not to tear apart your peace, but to invite in something purer. Michael says, the one you trust is wrestling in the dark. They are torn between fear and longing. They've buried what should have been spoken, but heaven will not let it remain buried. Because what harms you most is not the truth. It's the shadow of it, the echo of something you can feel but not name. That is what breaks the spirit, but no more. Tonight is sacred, because tonight clarity is coming. Not all at once, not with fury, but like dawn breaking over a cold field, slowly, surely, and completely. Your spirit has cried out for this. Your soul has waited at the window of heaven, whispering for clarity, and now the answer descends. Michael does not come with accusation. He comes with revelation. You may not like what is revealed, but you will love what it sets free. In the hours ahead, you may hear things you didn't expect, not in voice, but in vibration. You may feel a name drop into your spirit, or remember a conversation that suddenly means something new. You may wake at a strange hour with a pressure in your chest and not know why. That is the divine. That is God gently knocking on the door of your understanding. Say yes. Say, I am listening. Say, reveal what I am ready to see. This isn't about punishment. This isn't about shame. This is about truth, breaking the chains that ignorance built around your joy. Someone close to you is holding a truth that belongs to both of you, and it's time you receive your portion. Michael speaks. Let the masks fall. Let what is sacred be sacred, and what is false fade away. You will not be alone in this unveiling. Heaven walks beside you, and the angels are already moving through your space, preparing the air around you for a transformation. You may feel uneasy. You may feel tears well up without reason. You may even feel a weight in your chest that you cannot explain. That is the old energy preparing to leave. That is the veil beginning to lift. Let it go. Let the false comforts fall away, because what waits behind the curtain is not horror, it is hope, and that hope wears the face of truth. Type 777 if you are ready to see clearly. Type 888 if you trust that this revelation is for your healing. Now, listen closely. The one you love has faltered, but that faltering does not mean the end. It means a new beginning built on truth. Michael says, do not grieve the old structure. What is built on honesty will endure. What is built on illusion must fall. You are not being abandoned. You are being realigned. There is something shifting in the air around you. Perhaps you've noticed the temperature of a room change without explanation. Perhaps you've heard your name whispered in a dream, soft and trembling. These are not tricks of the mind. They are signs. The Spirit is speaking, and it speaks with purpose tonight. Your home is not just where you sleep. It is a sanctuary being rededicated. You must reclaim it. Walk through your space. Tonight with intention, touch the door frames, whisper blessings, say aloud, this house belongs to light. Only truth may dwell here, only love may enter, only healing may remain. These are not just words, they are keys. They unlock protection and clarity. Michael says, there are forces who sought to distort what was meant to be pure, but they shall not pass. Not tonight, not while you are awakening. You are part of something larger now. You are part of heaven's movement. The air is thick with divine presence, and this message is not fiction, it is prophecy. Something once hidden will be revealed, and when it is, it will bring the kind of peace only truth can provide. Not the shallow peace of ignorance, but the deep peace of alignment. The peace of knowing. Prepare yourself, not with fear, but with faith, not with worry, but with wonder. Something is coming, beloved, and though it may shake you, it will also free you. Let the walls shake, let the silence speak, let heaven enter. Type in men if you're ready for what comes next. Type 33 if you can feel it moving already. Type grace if you trust that this too is part of your divine journey. Because in part 3, Michael will speak again, and what he shows next will not just change your mind, it will change your direction. So stay close, stay awake, and remember, the truth is no longer hiding. It is coming home. Beloved, you have walked this far, not by accident, not by luck, but by divine orchestration. You are here because your spirit is ready, your eyes have begun to see, and your heart, though cautious, is opening to what it once feared. Tonight, the veil is thinner than ever, and what heaven longs to show you is no longer behind you, it is at your door. Michael whispers, you do not need to chase the truth. It is coming for you, and when it arrives, you will recognize it, not with your eyes, but with your knowing. You've felt it, haven't you? The tension in the room when certain names are mentioned, the delay in a message that should have come quickly, the hollow way someone says, I'm fine. These are not small things, these are soul echoes, and they matter, because heaven hears what's unspoken, because the truth doesn't always need volume, sometimes it needs space, and now that space has opened, it is called tonight, someone close to you has been walking with a burden, not one they've caused, perhaps, but one they've protected. They shielded you with silence, but that silence has become too loud to ignore. Michael says, I have watched them, not to condemn them, but to understand their ache. They love you. But love covered in secrets is a house without walls. And tonight those walls tremble, not to collapse, but to be rebuilt. You may feel unsteady. You may feel like something sacred is unraveling. But listen, that unraveling is not destruction. It is a loosening of what was never tied in truth. Let it fall. Let what was tangled come undone. Because God will retie every thread in His timing. And Michael, he is standing beside the unweaving, guiding every strand. There is something heaven wants you to understand tonight. Your faith is not being tested, it is being strengthened. Your peace is not being stolen, it is being purified. Your questions are not signs of weakness, they are signals of awakening. For too long, you accepted what didn't feel right. You told yourself, it's probably nothing, but your spirit knew. It always knew, and now the Spirit confirms it. Type Amen if you feel this confirmation. Type 333 if your soul has been sensing it all along. You are not foolish. You are not paranoid. You are spiritually aware, and Now that awareness is about to become vision, Michael says, "This house shall no longer hold hidden things. The winds of truth are sweeping through every room." Take that in, beloved. This is a sacred cleansing. You may find yourself drawn to clean, to move furniture, to light a candle, or sit in silence. That is not a habit. That is a response. Your spirit is preparing your space for divine visitation. God does not move where he is not welcomed, but he is already near. So speak this aloud if your heart agrees. My home is not a hiding place for deceit, it is a temple for truth. Only what is aligned with heaven may remain here. These words are not superstition, they are invitation, and heaven always responds to welcome. What happens next may not come in a flash of lightning. It may come in a sentence, a look, a piece of information you were never supposed to know. But somehow, now you do. That is divine timing, not to embarrass anyone, not to destroy trust, but to build a foundation that doesn't crack under pressure. Michael says, "You were never meant to walk blindfolded through the plans of others. You were meant to discern, you were meant to see, and now you will." Beloved, open your heart to this truth. Sometimes what feels like betrayal is actually redirection. Sometimes what feels like a loss is divine intervention. You have been protected from decisions made without you, from rooms where your name was spoken, with wrong intent. But God has stepped in, and Michael has drawn a line no shadow can cross. Tonight, that line is glowing. You are shielded. You are not prey for confusion. Type 222 if you receive this protection. Type grace if you believe. Something bigger is guiding this hour. There is more. The one who hid something from you is not evil. They are wounded, they are scared. They did not mean to become a gatekeeper of truth, but they did, and the time for gates has passed. Now comes release. Michael says, "Their silence will not stand between you and your blessing. Even if they never speak, heaven will, and it will. You may begin to see signs tonight. Not dramatic, not theatrical, simple. A light flickers in a way it never has. You wake from sleep without reason. A memory comes back that doesn't make sense, yet feels urgent. These are not random. These are indicators. The veil is lifting, and your discernment is being sharpened. You are not just protected, you are being equipped. What's more, your peace is returning, not the numb peace of ignoring things, the sacred peace of finally knowing. You have been patient, you have been loyal, and now you are being honored. Michael speaks one last word tonight. Justice is not always loud. Sometimes it whispers, "Now you see." Type Amen if you are ready to see. Type 33 if you feel something shifting. Type 888 if this resonates. In the silence of your spirit. In part 4, the spirit of confusion will be fully confronted, and what once lingered in secret shall step into the light. But for now, be still, be certain, and remember, the light is no longer approaching, it has arrived. Beloved one, the moment is near. You've walked through whispers, through weightless signs that felt heavier than silence, and through the kind of stillness that made your heart ask, "What am I truly sensing?" But now the stillness is giving way to knowing, not just sensing, knowing. The fog is lifting, and what once stood behind shadows now begins to step forward, quietly yet unshakably. Archangel Michael stands close. He speaks, not with thunder, but with an authority that settles into your bones like heat from a sacred fire. My beloved, he says, you were never meant to wander in confusion. You were never designed to remain blind in your own house. And now that design reclaims you, for confusion, spiritual, emotional, and relational, has tried to take root, but it will not remain. Not tonight. There is something strange about confusion, child. It does not shout. It creeps. It enters through tiny cracks, a withheld answer, a sidelong glance, a delayed text, a later that never comes. It builds itself from silence, then clothes itself in politeness, until you question your own discernment. But heaven does not live in confusion. Heaven is clarity, and heaven is speaking now. Michael says, "Where my light enters, the fog must flee, and my light has come to dwell in you." You may already feel the shift, not just around you, but within you. Your questions no longer sound desperate, they sound discerning. Your tears no longer fall from helplessness, they fall from release. Because your soul is beginning to remember what peace feels like. Peace is not the absence of trouble, it is the presence of truth. And tonight, truth is moving room to room, touching spaces you forgot were sacred, opening spiritual windows that had been long sealed shut. Breathe, let the fresh wind come in, let the dust of deception be swept out. Because what God is doing tonight is more than restoration, it is reclamation. Type Amen if your spirit longs to be reclaimed. Type 777 if the fog has already begun to lift. You have been confused, but not anymore. Because now you will see, you will hear, you will know. There is no longer space for spiritual haze where divine light is flooding in. Perhaps in the coming hours, you will notice that the words of others no longer sound the same. You'll hear beneath them, feel the weight in them, recognize the emptiness behind practiced tones. That's your gift awakening. Michael says, you have the gift of discernment. It is not imagination, it is divine perception. And now, it is being activated. No more second guessing, no more shrinking your inner knowing to protect someone else's comfort. You are not here to accommodate confusion, you are here to illuminate it. This is not about confrontation, it is about calibration, not aggression, but alignment. You are aligning with what God already knows, and when you align with truth, peace follows like a faithful shadow. So speak this aloud if you agree. I do not fear the truth. I invite it. I am not confused. I am clarified. What I sense is real, and heaven confirms it. Say it again, even if your voice trembles, because when you speak truth over confusion, confusion loses its grip. There is someone close to you who has spoken softly, too softly, not in voice, but in intention. They moved like a friend, but their spirit carried envy. Their words were sweet, but their motives tangled in unrest. This is not to shame them, this is to free you. Michael speaks. What you feel in your body is not stress. It is your spirit trying to speak. That tightness in your chest, that unshakable unease, that coldness you feel when no window is open. It's your discernment awakening. Do not ignore it. Do not doubt. You are being sharpened for a reason. There is a shift happening in your home even now, a clearing, a realignment of atmosphere. Some objects may feel off. Some memories may resurface. A certain name may sting suddenly with unexplained clarity. Don't be afraid. The light does not hurt what is honest. It only exposes what is misaligned. Type 2222 if you're ready for realignment. Type grace if you trust the process is holy. Type truth if you're done living beneath the fog. You are not under spiritual attack. You are under spiritual renovation. What no longer belongs is being gently removed. What is true is being re-established. Michael says, do not grieve what leaves. Do not cling to what confuses you. If it must go, let it. If it was hiding, let it surface. If it is real, it will remain. You are not losing stability. You are gaining vision. The spirit of truth is not visiting you. It is settling in. This is your new atmosphere. Not of uncertainty, but understanding. Not of delay, but divine pace. Not of shadows, but sacred glow. Beloved, this is your confirmation, the chills that rise on your arms, the tears that fall uninvited, the moment of stillness that suddenly feels charged with presence. They are all heaven's way of saying, you're not confused, you are correct. And what comes next will prove it. In part 5, what was hinted shall be made plain. What stirred beneath the surface will rise, and you will not just sense the shift, you will speak into it. But tonight, stay close, stay clear, and remember, confusion is not your portion. Clarity is beloved. You have made it here because your soul is ready to witness what others are still afraid to see. You did not arrive at this hour by chance. You were drawn, called, prepared. The night is no longer quiet, not because it is loud, but because truth has begun to echo, and what once whispered beneath the floorboards of your spirit is now rising to stand in the center of your knowing. Michael speaks. This is the moment when what was hinted becomes unmistakable, when what was buried begins to breathe, when what they thought you couldn't handle is placed into your hands by heaven itself. Beloved child, the delay is over. The time for revelation has come, but with it comes responsibility. What will you do with what you now know? What will you speak once the silence breaks? You may already feel it. There is someone who has come too close with unclear intentions. They wore warmth like a cloak, but it covered something colder. They smiled as if all was well, but behind their smile, a calculation moved. You noticed, you doubted yourself, but your spirit did not lie to you. And now, neither will heaven. God does not expose to harm. He exposes to heal. He uncovers what has been cloaked, not to shame it, but to restore what it tried to block. Michael says, the spirit of deception cannot remain in the presence of divine awareness, and you, beloved, are becoming aware. You may feel sorrow, you may feel betrayal, you may even feel foolish, but I assure you, none of those feelings are final. They are the ashes from which clarity will rise. Type Amen if you're ready to rise from the ashes. Type 444 if you know clarity has begun. Type truth if you will no longer protect lies with silence. You are being prepared for something greater than understanding. You are being prepared for wisdom. And wisdom does not just accept revelation, it moves. With it tonight, you will begin to notice shifts. People may reach out unexpectedly. Something they say may strike a chord you didn't know was waiting. You may hear a sentence that replays in your mind, not because it was loud, but because it was loaded. This is how the truth travels, not with thunder but with timing. And this timing is sacred. You are not here to destroy what was. You are here to rebuild what was always meant to be. There is power in stillness, power in restraint. Michael says, you do not need to confront with fire. Sometimes the greatest confrontation is standing firm in the light. Let the light speak for you. Let the clarity in your eyes become the mirror for their truth. Beloved, you are not being asked to act. You are being asked to perceive. God is showing you. That is enough for now. Receive what is shown without trying to fix it. Let it rest in your spirit like a stone dropped in still water. Let the ripple show you where it leads. You may feel led to pray in new ways, not for safety, but for discernment, not for protection, but for truth to flourish. Speak this aloud, even if it trembles. God, let me see not just with eyes, but with wisdom. Let me respond not in fear, but in holy clarity. If something is being removed, let me release it. If something is being shown, let me receive it. These words are keys. Speak them, and doors will open. There is someone close to you who thought they could hold both truth and concealment in the same breath. They did not mean harm, but they feared what would come to light. Michael says, fear creates shadows, even in those who love, but tonight the shadows cannot stay. If they speak, listen. If they remain silent, observe. Either way, the truth is speaking, and it will not go unnoticed. You may begin to weep without knowing why. Let it happen. Tears are truth's way of washing the eyes. You are not crying because you are broken. You are crying because something beautiful is being made whole, and in that wholeness, there is release. Type release if you feel it breaking open. Type 777 if you feel something shifting in your spirit. Type 888 if you know this was meant for you. This is not the end of your peace. It is the beginning of true peace. One not built on pretending, but on presence. God is reclaiming every inch of your inner home. He is not just revealing truths around you, He is restoring truths within you. The truth about who you are, the truth about what you carry, the truth about what is yours to hold, and what is not. Michael says, you were never meant to carry deception, even if it was offered in kindness. Let it fall, let the false coverings crumble. And they will, tonight. Something sacred is returning to you, a peace that doesn't fear the dark, a love that doesn't depend on lies, a clarity that doesn't ask for permission. You are stepping into your divine portion. You are ready, and what was hidden can no longer remain hidden. In part 6, the final unveiling shall come, and with it the beginning of a new path, a destiny aligned with heaven's deepest intention for you. But for now, be still, be certain, be strong. The night has spoken, and so has heaven. Beloved one, you have come through the whispers, walked through the ache, stood in the unveiling, and now you are standing on holy ground. The air feels different, doesn't it? The heaviness has shifted. The silence now carries meaning, and though your eyes may still search, your spirit has already begun to see. Tonight, you are no longer waiting for revelation. You are living inside it. Michael speaks once more. My child, you were never forgotten, even when the lies were louder than the truth, even when your name was spoken in shadows. I heard, I stood beside you. The truth is not approaching, it is already here, and with it the chains have begun to break. You are being restored, not repaired, not patched, not glued back together in places no one can see. You are being remade, root to crown, spirit to voice. Wound to wonder. This is not healing in silence, it is transformation in holy fire. There is something sacred about endings. They often come dressed as collapse, but truly they are beginnings in disguise. What has fallen away from your life, what has been exposed, what has been removed, was never meant to carry the weight of your future. Let it go. Let what could not stand in truth now fall with dignity. Michael says, there is no shame in what leaves when light enters, only space, only room for what is real. Type Amen if you are ready to receive what is real. Type 333 if your spirit says, this is my time. Type 888 if you trust that God is not done, He's just getting started. You are being called out of spiritual hiding. No more shrinking, no more apologizing for sensing what others deny. Your eyes see because heaven has gifted you vision. Your heart feels because it has been softened for divine reception. And now you are ready to speak. Not every revelation needs to be shared with others. Some are meant for your altar, some are meant for your journal, some are meant for your dreams, but all are meant to guide you. Michael says, what heaven revealed was not to burden you, but to align you. Now, beloved, it is time to walk differently, not in fear, but in focus, not in silence, but in sacred confidence. You do not need all the answers. You only need obedience to the light you've received. Speak this aloud, not as a prayer, but as a declaration. I walk in light. I walk in truth. I am aligned with heaven, and what left my life has made room for what God will place in it. There is no going back, and that is mercy. Perhaps tonight you feel a stillness, a softness. Perhaps your tears have quieted. Perhaps your body, long tense, has begun to breathe. That is not coincidence. That is completion. The Spirit has finished what it came to do. Now it will walk with you into what comes next. Do not rush. Let the residue of the old fall away gently. Let the taste of clarity linger. Let your home feel lighter. Let your heart beat with steadiness. Because tonight, beloved, the war was not around you. It was within you, and you won. Michael says, you are no longer under siege. You are under assignment. And that assignment? To carry peace into every room you enter, to speak truth even if your voice shakes, to walk as one who has seen what others pretend not to feel, because now you know, now you discern, now you are awake. This is your divine commission. Be still, no more. Be small, no more. Let the light that found you become the light that flows through you. Let the truth that freed you become the truth that surrounds you. Let your voice, once silenced by doubt, now rise like a psalm in the dark. Type Amen if you accept your assignment. Type 777 if you receive your spiritual promotion. Type 444 if this message has spoken what your soul always knew. There is no magic in the numbers. The power is in the agreement, and heaven is witnessing your yes, beloved. Something rare happened tonight. Heaven visited your house, not through lightning, not through thunder, but through truth. You didn't miss it. You felt it. You knew it. You responded. And then that response has created movement in the spirit realm. Things are shifting. Doors are aligning. Assignments are releasing. What they meant to confuse you has clarified your path. What they thought would break you has rebuilt your discernment. What was hidden has now become your testimony. In the nights to come, expect signs. You may wake to a quiet joy. You may feel drawn to write. You may sense a new boldness in your tone. You may even have a dream where someone you once feared apologizes. These are not illusions. They are confirmations. You are in divine alignment. And now, walk forward. Not hurried, not unsure. Walk with reverence. Michael is still with you. He does not depart when the words end. He guards the aftermath. He preserves what was revealed. He protects what you've received, and he will go ahead of you into whatever door opens next. Type grace if you feel something holy still lingering in the air. Type truth if you are leaving behind every trace of confusion. Type love if you choose to carry what was born in this night into every moment that follows, because it is done. The veil has lifted, the truth has spoken, and your spirit has risen. You are not broken, you are crowned. With this final word, receive the peace that passes all understanding. Let it cover you like warm oil. Let it soak through your thoughts, your breath, your movements. Let this not be a message you heard. Let it be a moment you remember, a moment when heaven whispered your name, and you answered. Stay blessed, stay aligned, stay in the light. Michael walks with you still. Amen.